just gonna start the show, man. Hey, yo, first of all, Spinall, it's good to have you back on.
Thank
I
you.
haven't. Last time I spoke to you was 2019 before COVID hits.
I know.
It's been a crazy period. I totally understand that, and I'm glad that you're alive and healthy. You
Thank
know,
God.
we,
God
we
is.
all lost a lot of family. I lost good friends.
I did too.
You know Dan Foster, my guy. That's your guy as well.
It's crazy.
So when Dan passed the COVID last year, that shit hit me real bad. And but I'm glad you're good. I'm glad everybody's good.
So sorry
And
about the loss, bruv. It's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah. May he rest in peace.
Amen.
And
Amen.
this is just a message to everybody else out there. COVID is still real, so don't take it for granted. People are
Mhm.
still dying.
Very
You
true.
know.
Very true.
Okay. So Spin, we're just trying to catch up with you. Like, I mean, since 2019, obviously a lot has happened. You put out quite a few records. You put out a few records last year. Um, During the pandemic, most especially. And I gotta applaud you for that because I'm sure it was pretty hard. Do you want to quickly run us through what your plans were in a nutshell and how life was turned upside down when the pandemic hit?
Oof, what a question. Um, First and foremost, I just want to say like God is great, and I'm grateful. Grateful for the fact that you know I didn't do anything specially than all the people that passed. I was probably more reckless than they were
Yeah,
with the COVID, and may all their souls rest in peace.
yeah.
2020 is a year I'm never gonna forget anytime soon. I particularly I was looking forward to the year in a different way because I had a very productive 2019.
Yeah.
2019 I did some of the biggest festivals that I've dreamt of doing. Some of the things that I've written down, and I got to take them off the bucket list. So that
Mhm.
kind of like gave me a much more hope for 2020. And in fact, we got a lot of bookings for 2020 at the last quarter of 2019. And to see the way the year pound out was different. Also, I was in a lockdown in the States all 20 I mean for about 8 months in 2020.
Mhm.
Um, what else did I go through? I also experienced what it means to go through racism in America. Like, I lived in Nigeria all my life. We don't know what racism is over here
Yep.
because we're all black people. We hear people say it, but we don't really understand it. I was there when the whole Floyd
George Floyd.
situation
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
So so I experienced it, and it was life changing. It was a lot to take in. I've never seen anything like that. Then I came back to Nigeria, and I experienced the NSARS. So it was a roller coaster of events, and I lost my lawyer last year as well. Somebody who I grew with, somebody who was more than a lawyer to me, and he passed away last year as well. So it was a lot. It was a lot. Plus, I had to still work on albums because the fans don't understand.
Yeah.
They just want the music, and so I had to work on the album still. And I don't know who I was last year. I still don't know who I am. I think I still need a therapist. That's if the therapists are available, because I heard the therapists need a therapist right now. So, but one thing at the end of the day that I'm really, really grateful for is just life itself.
Yeah.
All that last year also made me realize that life is very fickle, and it can just
It can go in the twinkle of an eye.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just grateful to still have this thing called the luxury of life, and just taking it one day at a time right now.
Amen to that. Amen to that, man. I mean, there's nothing better than gratitude, and you're showing that, and that's really appreciated. Before we get, I know you have a couple of new records you're about to put out, and let me just say this real quick. If you're
Yeah.
watching this, this is the one and only the Cap DJ Spinall. All right, live with us right here. My name is Douglas Jekan. I got my co-host DJ Trouble. Um, and technology has made it possible for us to be on different continents and still connect with each other. Last time I had him, I spoke to Spinall was when he came to the TGM radio show live in the studio. It was mad. It was good
Oh,
times.
beautiful.
Those are the times when we could really connect in person. So,
I know. I know. I know.
yo, let's talk about this project real quick. You put out an album called Grace in the height
Yep.
of the COVID period. All right. When you put it out, even I was skeptical because I know you have put out hits back to back, all throughout your career. But this
Mhm.
was a time when people were not too sure if if a project was going to work, especially since there wasn't the live promotional aspect of the legwork that could be done anymore. Obviously, we were all in lockdown. You put out an EP, an album. It's not just an album; it's a 15-track album. You're more than gracious. So
Thank
talk
you.
to me about that project, man. Was it like working on that? I mean, did you have to did you have to I would say retweak the project due to COVID, or was that the body of work you had in mind for 2020?
Um, I wouldn't say that, I'm a work in progress. Nothing is ever cast in stone.
Mhm.
Not nothing is ever spelt out like, oh, I'm done and dusted. Oh, this is what it's gonna sound like. Oh, this is what I'm gonna do. I wake up every day as a different person, and the sound that I was feeling yesterday, I'm probably not feeling it today.
Mhm.
But with the album Grace, I would say that I'd intended that I was going to make an album about 60% R&B ish.
Mm,
Sometime, I've always wanted to do that, but you know, I've been skeptical. I wanted to try it. If you listen to my third album, Grace, I wanted to try with Grace, but temperature of what's going on in the world didn't encourage it. So when we had
yeah,
locked and I put out the record with Omale, and I put out the record with Dice, and I put out the record with Cranium.
that's the
If you look
one.
at,
That's
so
the one.
if you look at all those records, they were all R&B based,
Yep.
and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I finally get a break to express my love for R&B that I've always wanted to do for so long.
Mm,
Because people think of Afrobeats, they think it's just, you know, 120 BPMs,
mhm,
And I wanted to, just show how talented and how diverse our talents are on that album.
Yep.
I've had some singles from Wizkid and Tiwa Savage, This Love. I've had singles with Cranium from the US. I've
I
had
mean, you did on Malay even with
yeah,
Tonight on the project.
tonight, yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
you did on Malay, you did World. I mean, to be honest with you, when I listened to the project, I was like,
It has
this guy,
everybody in it. It has Relish Murder, everybody.
I swear, I was like, this guy is just being too gracious. Like you're putting some people would want
I
to
don't
say some
sleep.
of those.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, right?
Did anything want
thank
to make you wait on bringing the project out since everything that was happening in 2020 was happening? So did you ever want to halt on the project?
No, no, I didn't want to. We released the album December 6th or thereabout, and I really wanted to release it way earlier. I wanted to release it around October, but the situation of things in Nigeria, was
Yeah.
quite a bit sympathetic one, and I didn't want to be the one. It's just sensitive for all of us, so I didn't want to, disrespect that whole campaign and process. So we waited till like December. I didn't want to not release the album in 2020 because of how crazy the year was.
Mhm.
And if at all anything can help us heal better, I think it will be still music.
Definitely.
So people need music. People need music when they're mourning, when they're happy, when they're sleeping, when they're sad. People need music for all things. So musically, I didn't want to be absent in a year as powerful as 2020. And I felt it was important to show up and show out for the people. I don't want to be available only when it's convenient. I'm not that kind of talent where I only come on interviews only for CNN, or come on interview only for when it's like I come on interviews, I come on music, I come on things when it's important, and I felt
Yeah.
like 2020 was an important year musically that I have to be present. And I'm glad that people were able to look back into some of the music I put out to find some sort of succor, or some sort of
Connection.
connection, or whatever they could take out of it. I feel like music itself, that's the purpose of the music we make, to heal, to impact, and to reflect the times. So the record I did with Dice was called Pressure,
Yeah.
and the whole purpose of the record was to reflect the times that we were in at the time.
Yeah.
So um I was still able to sneak in a few high energy vibes in the album,
I
like
know. I know. You got photos on Jekan.
yes, I was still able to do that. And big shout out to everybody also that worked with me on the album, my team, all the artists, all the A&Rs, the record labels, the art, the photographers, videographers. It was a lot of work. But I'm grateful we did a great album.
Let me ask you this. You obviously on the record was Share It, right?
Yes.
Love that
And
record.
yeah, that record was fire, by the
Yeah.
way. You had you had some of the promising youngins that popped off in the industry, the likes of Oxlade or Malay, Fireboy,
Dice.
DML, yeah,
Yeah.
Dice. These are like the young boys that are literally coming up, right, and doing an amazing piece of work. And knowing you've always given a leg up or supported young artists. I mean, from a PGM point of view, that's one of the reasons why you and I jive as well, because
Thank you.
we have that same philosophy, right?
Thank you.
Uh, I did want to ask though. You are doing the remix of Share It,
Yes, sir.
from what I hear.
That's
The little
positive.
birdie let the cat out the bag, and 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 I wanted to know why Share It, but what are you looking to do with that record? It already sounds great, but
Yeah.
what are your plans on the record?
So basically, at the time we were making the record, we intended to have somebody on it aside from Fire, and I just couldn't think of who, and I couldn't think of how the person would come into the record until I heard this remix after we had dropped the original record.
Yes, I just so my question really was, why share it? I mean, the record is already great as it is. Why are
Yeah.
you trying to do a remix on that record?
Okay, so at the time we put out the record, I was already in the mind frame that I was going to try to get somebody else on this record to just spice things up. And
Okay.
if you know me from time, I'm not a fan of remixes. I'm not sure you
Yep.
can find any of my song and be like, oh, that's the remix to No, that's the remix to
Yep.
Oyima, that's the remix to Baba. I've not really spent my energy doing remixes.
You've
But
only done
sometimes,
one or two, though, if I can remember. Yeah, you did a remix for Every Time with Cranium. Are you there?
He froze
Trouble, you
again.
there?
I'm here. He froze again.
Okay.
can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you
Yes.
now.
Sorry, we lost you.
Yeah.
So
I've done like
you were
my own remixes of the song. I've done like, my own show remixes, but not a public remix of anything. But for me, it's always about the music before the titles. When the remix came back, there was no way I could say no to it.
yeah.
When the remix came back, and I'm sure when you hear this as well, you will understand that, okay, this is now what them guys do when they say they're making remixes. This is way different. And it gives the song more audience. It gives the song more opportunity to travel even further. Um, I'm I'm also seeing the responses of the fans in different territories. A lot of people in the US, a lot of people in the UK is banging on all the radios in the UK. Shout out to the Beat 9, 103.6 as well. You guys doing the magic. And it's getting this attention. The least they can do is to put more gas to the pedal. The least they can do is to also show the radio stations and the media houses that, and the fans that, hey, I hear you, I see you, and we're gonna even make it, you know, bigger record for the summer. So we got Black on it, and Black did justice.
Cool.
And I think that would open more opportunities for people in other territories to hear the record and
Right.
understand what we've done. That might even drive
Cool.
more traffic to the old record and all of us that have collaborated on the record as a whole.
Okay, so we're back from the music. Love it, Spinall. Want to ask you this.
Yes.
I mean, we're just like in May. What else is happening this year for you?
A lot actually. We've done a lot of press. I told myself in 2017 that I'm gonna be more out there with the press. So we've done a lot of press, and I've been recording a lot of music. No pressure. I don't know if I'm gonna release anything, but
Okay.
I've been recording a lot of amazing, incredibly beautiful songs. And it's like now that I'm all time into production. hmm, hmm, it's a new side of me that I
Has
have dreamed
awoken.
about. And I feel like the kind of records that's about to come out from the Cap Music is gonna be really, really special. And I'm grateful for the talent. I'm also grateful for everybody that believes in my vision. And I think, as the year goes on, I will have more concrete plans. I just do the music, the team do all
Right.
the planning and
Yeah,
whatnot.
yeah, I hear you.
But I
I hear
can
you.
tell you for a fact that the quality of music and the powerful collaborations that is sitting on this laptop, this same laptop, it's incredible. It's
Yo, don't let
incredible.
that laptop crash, yo. I bet laptop, please.
It's
Get
not
high cry.
it's not crashing no way.
Yo, Spinall, real quick. I
So
mean, before I do let you go, I
yeah,
gotta touch on this. A couple of days ago, about a week
yeah,
ago or so, if I'm not mistaken, you tweeted something.
yeah,
We're gonna try and put it up so people can actually see the tweet.
yeah,
And the tweet was pretty much you were like speaking out against artists who don't want to, support
Don't
like their
support.
own, who don't want to
yeah,
support,
Yeah.
who don't want to co-support, right? They're local artists,
yeah,
but instead are going searching for collaborations with international artists and DJs.
yeah.
I wanted to just really ask you about that. What prompted you to make
Talk
that
about
statement?
it.
Break it
Yeah.
down for me, bro.
Um, really and truly, I think that tweet was was funny. Later, when my energy, I was in a weird energy, and I felt like this is so not cool. You know me, I'm very passionate about everything that has to do with growth for not just myself, for all of us. If you read
The
the
industry.
underlining tone to that tweet, you will notice that, and it's really not about me per se, because I'm good, but
Yeah.
Right.
I'm looking at my colleagues who also wants to do big things, and I'm seeing what their challenges are because we have conversations. But that aside, also, it was more of reminding these guys who they are. You know, they are kingmakers. And they're moving the ways a lot of them are moving. They're moving like they are. They
You
are.
can say it, slaves.
They don't even know who they are. Do you understand? It's like I have been working with you guys. I've been featuring you guys. I've been working with you round the clock, spending time, energy, money, and not just me. A lot of other DJs in different parts of the continent and the world. African DJs have been playing this music. People like yourself, you've believed in these guys before they became big stars. I get it that when you become big, it's important to chase big dreams. I get it. But I feel like it would have been better if you were pulling people along as you're growing. If you had signed a DJ as you're growing and you have grown together with him, it could be somebody. It could be that DJ Khalid you're looking at. Do you
Yeah.
understand? There are a lot of DJ Khalids in Nigeria, a lot of DJ Khalids in Africa. Myself, Black Coffee, a lot of people. And when you look at what is missing, it's really and truly lack of
Support.
genuine support.
Lack of
Lack of
support.
genuine, lack of genuine support. It's like you even have niggas do records with you that don't want it to be successful. It's crazy. when you hear the
Wow.
background confirmation of what a lot of talent have to deal with, it's insane. That's why you don't see a lot of collabos among ourselves. Like,
Mm.
apart from me featuring all these guys don't even work with each other. And it shouldn't be like that, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Mm.
why are we not working with ourselves? We are
It's
the
kind of like,
biggest, we are the
it's
biggest
kind
in
of
the
like,
game.
Spinal, it's kind of like the trend is if you don't have big numbers or if you don't have clout,
Yeah.
people ain't trying to work with you. And
That we've discussed this before as well, and
yeah,
how music isn't about the music anymore. It's about everything else that comes with the music.
yeah,
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
yeah.
It's
And
crazy.
it's sad.
Understand.
It's
And
very
I
sad.
also, genuinely, I also understand that argument.
Mhm.
But you know what? At the end of the day, in 5 years' time, we won't remember anything else other than the music.
Facts.
I don't remember the story around More Money, More Problems with Didi or and somebody else. I don't remember whatever happened around the story about Oju Elegba with Wizkid and, you know,
Mhm. We just remember the music.
it's the music. So when people are chasing numbers and they fail to work on the music, it's still gonna be trash.
Yeah.
It's still gonna be trash, you know. So in my opinion, I feel like they just need to relax. They're doing way too much. They need to relax and understand who they are. A lot of times, I don't know, maybe it's the system, maybe it's the pandemic, I don't know, but I'm more fascinated when people recognize who they. I know who I am. I know who the fuck I am.
That's the thing.
I
A lot of people I don't think know who they are.
do you understand? A lot of people do not understand how valuable they are. Do you understand? Like Nigerian artists, our artists in Africa are the best in the world right now, bruv. It is not. It is not this is not a hype. This is not
Mhm.
I'm not sure.
Oh,
No,
facts.
I'm sure. I'm
Yeah.
sure we are the best in the world. You might not see it maybe because of whatever situation that's surrounding it. You might not get a clearer picture, but I'm in the game. I've been in the game and I'm still here, still learning new stuff. And from everything that I know in the game, we are the best in the world. I worked with them. I'm still working with them.
Mhm.
We are the best. We are all like we are the reason why
We are the
music is exciting.
influencers.
We are the reason why music is exciting right now. And I'm just hoping that my guys can see it and they can pull up more people,
Mhm.
more collaborations. Look at my albums. That's all I do. In case anybody be like, oh, Spinall, let's talk about you. What? Oh, yes, I can show you the receipts. Look at my first album. I've been featuring people before they became the like, and I'm
You
still doing it.
you you featured Burner. You featured Burner at the early part of his career. I remember that record.
Great guy,
Yeah,
Niniola, World. These are like people who, I mean, even if I didn't work with them, they will still be there because I know
that's
they
right.
are so good.
That's
They're
right.
really talented. You know, look at Omale. The list is endless. Omale came out and the whole world was like, what? Everybody in the world, the artists in the US and the UK, they're all in his DMs, bruv. They are there, bruv. It's a great talent. And
Yeah.
there are a lot more. There are a lot more. In fact, we have only shown the world a, a, a
A
really,
glimpse.
really less fraction of the amount of talent that exists in our own. So I'm saying that chase big things, but don't forget who you are. And
That's
don't
right.
forget to impact the people that are around you. Do you
That's right.
understand? Don't forget to
Right.
impact the people around you. Don't forget. I feel like, we will make the same mistakes that, our oppressors made in the past if we don't check ourselves quickly. You know, you love to see people being successful from afar. That was what I was saying. But have you really checked your territory though? Have you really, really checked the DJs that put you on when you were nobody? What's up with them now? What are they doing? How are you trying to engage? I mean, you can't change everything for everybody, but have you done that little part that you could easily do? So it's more of me being just upset that, my brothers and sisters do not really understand how big and powerful they are, and that's why they are moving like that. And I wish they realize this in time, so that nobody treats them in a very funny situations and funny ways. We are
Mhm.
really talented. Our guys are really talented. I've been supporting them all my life. The DJs have been supporting them. Radio stations have been playing them. They also need to understand that this support has been coming from here before you get there, and therefore we that have been supporting you, there was something that we saw in you. We believed in you. I don't know why you need a second guessing or some
You can't
sort of
forget where you came from, basically.
allegation from somebody else before you believe you're that guy. You've been
Yeah.
that guy.
You
Chase
know
the
what?
good things, of course. Go international. Do that.
Period.
Just don't forget who.
You know what? You know what? You know what? Yeah. When I saw that tweet, I was laughing. I think me and Trouble, we kind of spoke about it on the side
Oh my
because
God.
the message resonated with me. And Spinner, let me tell
Yeah,
you why. Let me tell you why I appreciate you. You're one of
Thank,
those guys, right?
real.
I know when your career started,
thank you.
and you have not changed from when you started to where you are now, where you are international and you are on every platform, and your
Mhm.
numbers have skyrocketed. I don't even know how many followers you have on Instagram, probably in the millions now.
Thank
But
you.
when I hit you up, you still respond,
Of course, bruv.
right? And I see people who you will come on my shows or other presenters their shows when you're trying to come up, but the moment you pop off, you become unaccessible. You become it's hard
Yes.
to reach you.
It's sad.
I'm thinking to myself like,
But
yo,
It's sad.
you
it's not
flaky.
necessary.
I'm like,
You
you
can't you
flaky.
can't forget where you came from. So
That's right. I'm like, you flaky, man. That's fake. That's a fake attitude. Like
Yep.
you
This
cannot
is
turn your backs on those who carried you when you were coming on the come up. That's just the way it is.
this is it for me also when I look at this, because this thing you're talking about, I see it a lot. I experience it, but I always ask myself, what is the end game for this? What what do you gain doing? Oh, Douglas hit me up, and I'm gonna act like I didn't see it. Oh, I don't know who that is. Like,
you never know when you're gonna need a Douglas again. So why would you do that?
what is the end
Yeah.
game?
That's
You
right.
know, so I pray that they realize it in time, and to the advantage, Africa is a billion. You're trying to cross into a country that is not up to half the size of where you're coming from.
That's right. We're
I
a
think
Some
billion
people
people.
underestimate Africa. People
yo,
underestimate because we watch TV.
oh
So we
God,
think, okay, what's on TV is what
it's
is popping, but they don't realize, listen, there's nothing like
yo,
Africa.
it's crazy. We buy properties here, cash down, bruv. Cash
Period.
down.
What? They don't know about
You understand?
that.
And you are intimidated by. You know
Yeah.
what?
Even
I know
like
the
think about nightlife. Like I've traveled the world and there's no nightlife like Lagos nightlife.
I don't
Like
know
let's
what
talk about that.
I don't know what is missing somewhere, but that constant seeking validations from people that are not
Yeah.
valid. I just feel like collab. I'm a fan of collaborations. Do you
That's right.
understand? I'm a fan
Exactly.
of going to Ghana collab, going to US collab, going to UK collab, going to different parts of the world. I like that. I love it because music is a universal language. Go
Yep.
everywhere, make
Mm.
music with people, reach out to bigger audience, bigger fans. But don't forget
Where
who
you're
you
coming
are
from.
and where you're coming from.
Definitely.
That's all I'm saying.
Definitely.
That's what I'm
Boom.
saying.
That's
Definitely.
that's that's the quote right there. Don't forget who you are
Don't
and where
forget
you're
who
coming
you
from.
are.
Hashtag DJ Spinall in quote.
That's all.
Nah,
That's what I'm saying.
yo, Spinall, listen, I'm gonna tell you this. Yeah, I want to thank you for taking the time out to talk to us.
Thank you
I
too.
got one more
Um,
question for you. Your
My
birthday's coming up, so how we turning up?
yo, my birthday. I'm always a weird person on my birthday, man. My birthday is. I will try with this one to see if I can.
This is a year to celebrate, so you gotta turn up.
I know. I'm not coming out from last year. I deserve this party, so I'm gonna
Definitely.
think. I'm gonna think about it. Maybe we're
you're not
gonna
going.
have.
Trouble, you're not gonna be there anyways. I don't know why you're tripping.
What do you mean? Yes, I am.
Yeah,
Oh God.
you're locked up here in London, just like I am. What's wrong with you?
She's just looking out for me, bro.
I hear you. Yo, Spinall, as always, listen, and I will say this, yeah. I appreciate you. I appreciate the authenticity in you, the music that you have put out, you've blessed us with all these years. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. I appreciate you giving the younger artists around you a chance.
Thank you.
I also appreciate you speaking out on what is wrong, what is happening that is totally wrong. I
Yeah.
when I saw you when Instablock put it up, I said to myself, this dude is speaking my mind. But you
Yeah.
know what? I tend not to be so vocal about it because I don't want people to feel like I'm hating. I'm not
Yeah.
hating. The truth
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
I've always said it. I've always said something, yeah.
You said it.
I've always said it like, if you don't want to come on the show, that's great.
Yeah.
The show is going to go on regardless.
Yes.
But it will be nice. It will be nice to have a returnee of someone
Yeah.
who was once on the show,
Yeah.
come back and he's now a superstar, and come back and say, you know what, guys,
You know what?
like,
You know the thing about the show is really not about us.
yeah,
Our goal in life is not just to look out for ourselves,
that's right.
but you don't know anybody going through something that will listen to the program, and just a
Be
little
inspired.
fire will come out from maybe Douglas or anybody on the show, and they're inspired to change the world for you
That's
and
right.
I again. It's not
Yeah.
just, we have to think it like we have to think out of ourselves and stop being selfish. And
That's right.
I remember listening to Jimmy Jack on radio back in the days. I still remember the conversation, bro. I still remember the questions, how he answered, and I could find a lot of things that I could use to help me keep going, you know. And I feel like that cycle should continue like that, you know.
Yep.
There were
Yep.
artists before you, there will be artists after you, there will be
That's
artists
right.
after them. It is not about just your big records. It's also about how many people you could, help put on in any form or shape. You don't have to sign people for all of us to know you're supporting them.
That's
You
right.
don't have to give people money. Just come on the radio show, fucking do a post about something, support somebody's music. That's enough. That's just
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
that is expected of you. So
No,
look,
I
man.
agree. I agree. And I mean, you've mentioned it, but I want to shout him out again.
Yeah.
DJ Jimmy Jab by far is the poster child for helping people. And I know he's helped a lot of you DJs.
Of course, of course.
He's that one guy. I just want to make it clear. If there's anyone who you look up to as an example, he's that guy. But
Of course.
Spinall, you know what? You followed in those footsteps,
Yeah, I
and
was gonna say that you follow in those footsteps because when I was coming up as a DJ, that your name used to always come up as, oh, I could connect you with Spinall, I can connect you that. Your name would always come up. The connection never happened, but
Oh,
your name will always come
happening
up
now.
because they're like, he would help you, he
It's
would put
happening
you
now.
on. So I've always heard great things about you. So
Man,
trouble,
thank you.
trouble. It's happening right now. The connection's happening right now. You're on the call with
period.
Spinall.
The connection is strong.
No,
Nice to
Spinall,
meet
listen. If I don't get to speak to you before your birthday, I'll call you on your birthday. But I do want to say, look, thanks for taking out the time once again. I appreciate you.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's just keep being that voice, man. Keep being that inspiration for a lot of people out there.
Thank
We
you.
need more people like you. That's just the truth. Okay.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Appreciate
The real
that.
gotta
One
stay real.
Thank
one
you, man.
last thing, and I'm still saying it's been. I need one of those caps, so make I
Got you,
they
bro.
form the capsule.
I got you. I got you always. No worries. I got you.
All right, everyone. That's it for today. Thanks a lot for tuning in. All right, this is another special session. We're gonna have another one soon. Shout out to Spinner once again, and make sure you always tune to this channel. All right,
Make sure
1036
that track is on replay.
on
Sir.
replay. Share the remix featuring
Sir.
Black. It's out.
Thank
Spinner,
you.
one love, brother.
That's it, guys. Love.
Always.